Hello there, I'm Scotty. You're not. And it's finally time for me to give my review for Alien Romulus. This was anticipated. I'm probably not as heavily anticipating this as I probably wasn't anticipating this as much as others. I like the Alien movies. I like Alien. I love Aliens. Alien 3 can suck a dick. I don't think Alien Resurrection is that bad. I actually enjoyed Prometheus and Alien Covenant. Alien versus Predator is fine. I think AVPR is underrated. So I'm a little bit mixed and matched with this franchise. And I'm also a little bit mixed and matched with this movie. When it was announced, you know, so they originally were planning to do a third film in the Prometheus Covenant trilogy. And that was all up in the air because Disney was purchasing Fox, and then once Disney purchased Fox, they announced a new Alien movie to eventually be titled Alien Romulus. I was like, okay, let's finish off the trilogy. And then when they released the synopsis for it, it was not the final part of the trilogy, but a new movie set in between the first and second movies, between Alien and Aliens, and I just went, what? What are we doing? Why? Why? There had been talk for a long time about, even after Alien Resurrection, of doing a fifth film and either doing another sequel or going back to after Aliens, retconning Alien 3 and continuing from there. Now the problem of doing that now is that the actors are all older, but if they've been in cryostasis for all that time, you could say something broke and they all aged well in there, but they were still kept alive for all that time, so they're older looking, but, and you can also explore that with Newt, too, where she's a full-grown adult, but she still has the maturity and the brain of a child, and how that affects her now in this world, you know what I mean? Don't get sexual with it, just, because I know that you're going to go there, well, wait a minute, how does that work? She's an adult, and there's adult men. No, don't do that. I'm talking about, how she's an adult, but she has the mind of a child, so she's kind of seeing things differently. You know what I mean? That kind of situation. I don't know how that works, but But no, we got this, and I was iffy on this. I gotta tell you, I liked it, but it's definitely better than 3 and Resurrection. I'll give you that much. I'll give you Prometheus. It's better than Prometheus. Covenant, maybe. I don't know. So the one thing I wanted from this movie was for it to do its own thing. Don't take a lot of shit from the other movies. Yeah, no, they took a lot of shit from the other movies. They really just tried to. It's one of those things where it's not a new Alien movie. It's an Alien movie. It's not just like, oh, we're gonna make another Alien movie. No, we're gonna make an Alien movie that calls back to all the other entries, and I mean not all the other, but some of the other entries in this franchise, even though they don't technically exist yet. There are some callbacks that just is like, why are we calling back to something that hasn't happened yet in the continuity of this? So, continuity-wise, this takes place 20 years after the first Alien movie. And we follow a group of young adults on a ship that they're planning to go to another planet because they're sick of working their minds on this other planet for Weyland-Yutani, so they're going to this other planet. It kind of reminds me of Space Cases, but those were teenagers, where they get on a ship, it flies off. Well, here they get on a ship, they go, and they find this other ship, a double ship, Romulus and Remus, ancient Greek stuff, whatever. But Yeah. The first thing that I was confused about, we get it later, but like usually when you put a subtitle name, it's usually the ship that they're on. Like you have Prometheus, that's the ship that they are on when they go into space. You have Alien Covenant. The Covenant is a ship that are on when they go into space. This ship is not Romulus, that's the ship that they find. You know what I'm saying? It's, I don't know, it's a little bit off. It's a nitpick, sure. We actually start off, I had to watch this 3 times to figure out what the hell was going on, to realize that this was the Nostromo wreckage, and they're pulling something that shouldn't exist out of it. Apparently there's xenomorph stuff left there. How? Or is it the one that was blown into space? Because I don't know where they got this leftover xenomorph thing. Is it the one that was blown into space? Is that what it was? I don't know. It's been 20 years and didn't go anywhere. I don't get where this alien came from. If there's only one alien on that ship and it was blown out into space. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not thinking right. But it's been 20 years. So we meet our main character, Rain, played by Kaylee Spaney, and her friends, Kay, who is pregnant. I wonder how that will come back. Yeah, I don't. Pregnant women in this franchise don't fare well. Look at AVPR. You could see what that was going on there. They do more with it here than they do with in Halloween 3, or not Halloween 3, Friday the 13th Part 3, where they add that one girl who's pregnant, but then it doesn't do anything. That doesn't add to anything. There's nothing. I don't know why that's in there. Here, she's pregnant. I'm like, well, do something with it. But they did something with it. It's interesting. It's wrong, not just because I do it, but it doesn't make any sense how the creature looks. We'll get to that. But like, so they decide. So this Rain, she says she's done working, but they tell her she's got to do more work because these people are unfair. This whole scene kind of reminded me, not verbatim, but like Force Awakens, when she's trying to get the credits and stuff, and they only give her a certain amount of credits. It's like, oh, I have enough credits to be done. Like, nope, you're not. It's kind of the whole thing. Lest we forget, the company is evil. Of course, we're not supposed to know that till Aliens, but, you know, it's one of those things where it's a prequel. Well, we can't just make it a straightforward prequel. We gotta wink at the audience. Why can't we ever have a straight prequel that doesn't wink at the audience and be like, oh, hey, you already know they're evil, so why hide it? Why not? I don't know. That's why I have a big problem with prequels. It's because you can't just do a straight prequel that is connected to the first one or in between, whatever, and just make it a self-contained movie that exists between those two. You gotta wink and nod at everything because we already know what's gonna happen. So why do we have to? Because a prequel you should be able to watch, like you should be able to watch Alien, then this one, and Aliens perfectly. But if you watch this before Aliens, people are going to be confused because of callbacks to stuff that hasn't happened yet, and the wink and nod at the company being bad guys when the reveal doesn't happen until Aliens. It's not supposed to happen until Aliens, so it's confusing. So they decide, their friends, they all decide to get off this planet and fly away, and that's how they find the Romulus. And of course they find the xenomorphs. And okay, I'll tell you this. The xenomorphs look really good in this. They look really good. The effects are good. Yeah. They're great. This is where I start to have issues with this movie. So, Rain's best friend Andy is an android or synthetic human. And automatically you're supposed to think, oh, like Bishop Yeah. But then they make him like Ash. Speaking of which, oh my god, the biggest eye roll in this movie. Ian Holm is rolling in his grave right now. I don't know why they did this. It's so they have another synthetic human called Rook, who is verbatim a copy of Ash from the first one. And not only is this not cool to do because of Ian Holm's passing, but you're just copying Alien Covenant now. Because the whole thing with it, oh, there's another synthetic human android. Looks just like David, but it's not David. There's both of them, but there's not two of them in the same, it's not, there's two androids, but they're not the same android. And then Rook basically corrupts Andy into doing what's best for the company, so in turn makes him evil. And I just went, why are we doing this? Why? It's literally the same plot point from the first one. We are copying the first one, where the android is now kind of, although he doesn't get his head ripped off, but it's like he's now the evil android, essentially. And not so many words, but still. You know what happens now. People die, whatever. And then, this is where I start to kind of zone out a little bit, because it's like, now we're just trying to copy things. The effects are good. The action scenes are done really well. People say, oh, again, there's a whole thing, oh, this is the scariest alien movie since the first one. No, it's fine. Again, things don't get to me, don't scare me. It's effective, sure, but it works for what they're doing. So let me get to the callbacks. Besides Ash, there's a point where you see a display of black goo, which calls back to Prometheus and Covenant. And I just went, so we're not ignoring them then? I thought that we were going to ignore them going forward. We're not. The black goo is something. And at one point, the pregnant woman, Isabella Merced's character, what's her name? Kay. She injects herself with the black goo for some reason. And it transforms her fetus, unborn child, into a human xenomorph hybrid that looks more human and shouldn't look human. Because we know that when you inject and that stuff gets into you, it creates the, what was it called? It's not the xenomorph, what was it? That little thing. Decamorph? Whatever it was called. The little thing that comes out. That thing. And if you're really going for a pregnant person, shouldn't it be the octopus thing from Prometheus? Right? I'm just saying. That's our connection to Prometheus and Covenant there. And then there's another. So, at one point, Andy's programming gets reversed. Rain reverses it. And there are two callbacks in one. There's one where he jumps down the ladder shooting at the xenomorph, which I believe is a callback to when the guy from CSI jumps off the thing in Resurrection and goes full shooting at the xenomorph to sacrifice himself or something, maybe. I don't know. But that's what... And then he says, "Get away from her." And I went, "Oh, you bitch." And then he says, "You bitch." Hey, great reference to a line that hasn't happened yet. Don't reference stuff that hasn't happened yet in the continuity. Stop it. Stop it. If this took place after Aliens, and he, because he's an android, downloaded stuff like their security footage of what happened and he saw that and copied that, it would make sense. It makes no sense that he says this when that line hasn't actually happened yet. It makes it just as much sense as Dallas in AVPR saying, "Get to the chopper." Even though that's technically after Predator, but he wouldn't know that line. It's just a callback, and just like the Dallas line in that movie, it makes me roll my eyes because like you gotta call back to it. And in calling back to the original, we have the extended third act or the fourth act where they think they defeated it, but surprise, it comes back, and we just do a fancier version of shooting it out of the airlock. Basically, it's a little more speckly and spectacular, but it works. And then Rook is destroyed in the other ship, and we basically get the aliens ending, but only with her and Andy. She puts Andy to sleep, and then maybe it's even the Prometheus ending. I don't know, but that was the head of, I don't know. And then she goes into hypersleep. Yeah, that's how the movie ends, and I'm just like, couldn't you have done something more original than copy everything from the other movies? I forgot about another callback. There's a callback where it's either Rain or Kay, I couldn't tell which one. She's like backed up against the wall, and the xenomorphs in her face. It's a callback from Alien 3. Again, something that hasn't happened yet, but this is a little bit different. It's not a line that's thrown out or anything. It's just the shot. Look, I'm not saying it's a bad movie. It's a good movie. My problem is, do something original and don't copy the others. All you did was take a bunch of the shit from the other ones, Alien and Aliens mostly, with a little bit of Alien 3, and pepper it around another script. You know, like an original idea script for an Alien movie, pepper things in there. You just took the greatest hits of the best movies and threw it in there. You know? That's all you did. Oh, there's another thing. One of the friends is playing video games. He goes, "Game over, man. Game over." I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Seriously? Stop calling back to movies that haven't happened yet. It was annoying. It wasn't funny. You know what else is annoying? Andy doing stupid dad jokes. Now, I tell bad dad jokes. These are even stupid. Why didn't the bear or whatever eat the clown? Because it tasted funny. Stuff like that. It's not so much that they do the joke, it's that the whole first part of this is just him doing those jokes randomly, and it gets annoying. I get he's an android, he's programmed to do stuff, but it's just annoying. I like the characters. They were done very well. I just think you should have tried to make this more of an original movie instead of Alien's Greatest Hits. That's it. Like, I don't know. Like, at first I'm like, when I heard this is going to be in between the two films, I was like, why? Why are we doing that? What's the point? Like, is it even going to matter? If there's no other, you can't have any other characters connecting. Apparently you could, but like, it's like because the actors are too old now, so you can't really do anything. Because technically, Hicks and all those other characters are still alive at this point. They're younger here. They're probably teenagers or something. But also, I feel like this movie, because maybe it doesn't, because I was going to this and I'm going, but if this happens, doesn't that take away, again, from the continuity of Aliens, where they said that they went to the planet that they went in, and they didn't find anything. Well, they found a thing in space, so there's that in this one. And this is in the middle of space, so there's no real record of it. The stuff was destroyed, so I don't know. Again, I liked it, but I just felt like they should have tried to be more original instead of just taking stuff from the other movies. Fede Alvarez, do me a favor. When the sequel and everything comes out, be more original. Don't just take stuff from the other movies. Please. As it stands with this one, I'm going to give it middle of the road. It's fine. Like I said, it's better than Resurrection and 3 and maybe Prometheus. But other than that, I don't know. It stands in the middle of this franchise for me when it comes to just the Alien movies. You had the AVP movies in there. It's a little bit mishy-mashy. But it's fine. I didn't hate it. I liked it. I'm not as high as everyone else with this movie. I don't know. I wanted something more original instead of copying stuff from the other movies. I just felt like that let me down because I thought Prometheus and Covenant was more original with what they were doing. And if this is what the fan base wants, because those other two, I like those other two, and people were bitching and complaining that it wasn't like Alien. If this is what they meant, then I don't want any more of this. It's fan service, and it's not well done fan service for me anyway. It's just pandering to the fans. Hey, remember that line? Remember that shot? Huh? Hey, remember Ash? Remember him? Remember the black goo? Remember that? It's Member Berry, the movie. Remember that? Remember this? Remember? You remember. That's what this movie is. Do something original. No more callbacks in the next one, please. So what are your thoughts on Alien Romulus? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I've been Sky, and I'll see you in the next one.